The human explorer, Aaron, walked cautiously through the dense forest of planet Virelia. The air was thick with strange scents, a mix of sweet flowers and something metallic. Virelia was known for its dangerous wildlife, but Aaron had always loved challenges. He had traveled far from Earth to study alien ecosystems, but he never expected that today, danger would bring him face to face with someone extraordinary. Suddenly, a shrill scream echoed through the forest. Aaron's heart pounded. He ran toward the sound, stepping over roots and leaping across small streams. At the edge of a cliff, he saw her, a figure in a flowing, shimmering robe, hovering above the ground. The alien princess, Auralia, was caught in the clutches of a massive winged creature with scales that glowed under the planet's twin suns. Without thinking, Aaron grabbed a long, sturdy branch and hurled it at the creature. The creature screeched, releasing the princess. She fell and Aaron dove to catch her before she hit the jagged rocks below. They tumbled to the ground and Auralia landed safely on the soft moss. For a moment, they just stared at each other. Auralia's eyes were like liquid silver, wide with surprise and something else, curiosity. Aaron could feel his heart racing. He had faced dangerous creatures before, but nothing had ever made him feel so alive. "You are human?" Auralia's voice was soft but firm. "Yes," Aaron said, standing and brushing moss from his clothes. "And you are very brave and very lucky." Auralia's lips curved slightly, a small smile forming. She rose to her full height, which was taller than any human Aaron had met. Her robe shimmered with colors that shifted like liquid. "You risked your life for me. Why?" she asked. Aaron shrugged. "I couldn't just watch you fall. Anyone would have tried to help." She studied him carefully, as if trying to read his very thoughts. "You are unlike any human I have ever heard of," she said. "Most would have run away or screamed." Aaron chuckled nervously. "I guess I'm lucky. Or maybe a little foolish." The creature screeched again, circling above them, but it did not come closer. Auralia's eyes followed it, and then she looked back at Aaron. "You are different. Strange, but good." Aaron felt a warmth in his chest. He wanted to speak, to say something that would show he was worthy of her trust, but words seemed too small. He only managed to whisper, "If only I could marry her." Auralia froze. Her eyes widened. She tilted her head slightly, a gesture Aaron could not fully understand. Then, in a soft, steady voice, she said, "Yes, you can." Aaron blinked. He thought he had misheard. What? You heard me," Auralia replied. "You may marry me if you are willing to learn and to prove yourself worthy." Aaron felt his knees weaken. He had dreamed of meeting aliens, even of understanding them, but marriage to a princess? He could not imagine such a thing. I don't know if I can," he admitted. Auralia's expression was calm, yet there was something in her gaze that made him feel he could not refuse. "Then you must try," she said. "But first, you must survive this planet." Before Aaron could ask more, a loud roar shook the ground. The winged creature swooped closer and Auralia raised her hands. A shimmering shield of light erupted around them, holding the creature at bay. Aaron's eyes widened. "You can do that?" he asked. She nodded. "A princess must protect herself. But even I cannot face every danger alone." She glanced at him, eyes sharp. "Will you help me?" Aaron swallowed hard. "Yes, I will." For the next hour they ran through the forest together. The creature attacked again and again, but Auralia guided Aaron, showing him safe paths and how to avoid traps. Aaron discovered he could follow her lead, even using his human instincts to anticipate the creature's movements. He felt a strange sense of teamwork forming between them, a connection that went beyond words. Finally, they reached a hidden valley, a place where the forest opened into a calm, sparkling river. The creature could not enter here, and it circled above, growling before flying away. Auralia lowered her shield and looked at Aaron. "You are resourceful," she said, "and brave. You have passed the first test." Aaron laughed, relief flooding him. I didn't even know there was a test. Auralia's smile was small but genuine. Life itself is a test, Aaron. You survived because you did not give up. That is what matters. They sat by the river, catching their breath. The water reflected the twin suns casting golden and silver light over their faces. Aaron felt a strange peace despite the danger they had faced. He looked at the princess and realized that meeting her was more than luck. It was fate. I still can't believe you said I could marry you, Aaron said softly. Auralia tilted her head, her silver eyes reflecting the sunlight. I see something in you. Something rare. Humans are unpredictable, yes, but they have courage and compassion. You have both. That is why I chose to speak the words. Aaron felt a warmth spread through his chest. He had faced danger. He had met a being unlike any other, and now he had a chance he never imagined. I will do whatever it takes, he whispered. Auralia nodded. Then you must learn. There is much you do not know about my world, and about me. If you wish to marry me, you must first prove yourself worthy, not just in action but in heart. Aaron looked at her, determination in his eyes. I will, I promise. The princess studied him, her gaze thoughtful. Then she rose gracefully. Tomorrow, you begin your lessons. Tonight, rest. You will need your strength. Aaron nodded. He watched her walk toward a hidden path that led to her palace, its towers glinting in the sunlight. He could feel the weight of the journey ahead, but he also felt a spark of hope. For the first time in his life, he believed that something impossible could become real. As night fell over the valley, Aaron sat by the river, thinking about the princess, about the dangers they had faced, and about the words that had changed his life. Yes, you can. He whispered into the darkness almost to himself. I will not fail. I will be worthy of her. Above him, the twin moons of Virelia shone bright, and the forest seemed to hum with life. Somewhere in the distance, the princess watched over him, and for the first time, Aaron felt that the galaxy itself had taken notice of their story. The next morning, Aaron woke to the soft hum of alien birds and the silver glow of Virelia's twin suns. The events of yesterday felt like a dream. He had saved an alien princess, faced a deadly creature, and heard words that no human had ever imagined hearing. Yes, you can. As he stepped toward the hidden path that Auralia had indicated, he found her waiting. She stood tall, calm, and graceful, her robe shimmering like liquid silver. Today you begin, she said. You will learn the ways of my people. Only then can you hope to be considered a suitor. Aaron swallowed. I don't even know where to start. Auralia smiled faintly. Then start by observing. She led him to a grand palace hidden within a forest clearing. The building was unlike anything Aaron had ever seen. Towers of glass and metal stretched high, catching the sunlight, while gardens of exotic plants twisted and spiraled in impossible shapes. Birds with wings like liquid gold flitted around the courtyards. Humans had nothing like this. As they entered, Auralia explained, Our customs are not like yours. We value balance, patience, and respect. You must show all three if you wish to. Prove yourself. Aaron nodded, though he had little idea what that would mean. Their first lesson was simple, or so it seemed. He was shown how to serve a ceremonial tea, a ritual that involved precise movements, careful gestures, and absolute calm. Any slip, any sudden motion, would be considered disrespectful. Aaron's first attempt ended in disaster. The teacup slipped from his fingers, splashing liquid onto a golden carpet. He froze, expecting punishment. Auralia's silver eyes were unreadable for a moment. Then she sighed softly. Humans are clumsy, she said gently. But they can learn. Aaron felt a rush of relief. I will try again. Over the next few hours, he practiced tirelessly. His movements became smoother, more deliberate. He began to understand the subtle cues of the ritual. When to bow, how to hold the cup, how to breathe calmly. You are improving, Auralia observed. Patience suits you, surprisingly. Aaron smiled. Thank you. I want to do this right. For you and for your people. Next, Auralia taught him the language of gestures, a complex system where hand movements, head tilts, and eye expressions conveyed emotions more precisely than words. At first, Aaron felt ridiculous waving his hands and tilting his head in strange ways, but Auralia was patient, correcting him gently until he began to convey respect, curiosity, and humility without a single word. You have potential, she said. Many humans would fail. You do not. The human felt pride mixed with nervousness. He had never been praised by anyone like this. After the lessons, they walked through the palace gardens. Towering plants with luminous flowers glowed in every color imaginable. Streams of crystal-clear water wound between the gardens, reflecting the sunlight. Your world is very different from mine, Auralia said. I am curious. What makes humans so determined? Aaron thought for a moment. We face challenges all the time, and we keep going. Sometimes it's courage, sometimes it's hope, but we never give up. Auralia studied him carefully. Perhaps that is why you survived the creature yesterday. Humans are unpredictable, but strong. Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of another alien, a noble named Tharil, who was known for his strict adherence to tradition. He looked Aaron up and down with a critical gaze. You are the human, Tharil said sharply. Do you truly believe you can follow our and earn the princess's hand? The morning air was cool and crisp, carrying the scent of Virelia's exotic flowers. Aaron walked beside Princess Auralia through the palace gardens. The lessons of gestures, rituals, and history had improved his understanding, but today was different. Today Auralia wanted him to experience her world firsthand. Humans often think knowledge is enough, she said, her silver eyes watching him carefully. But understanding comes from experience. Aaron nodded. I am ready for anything. Their first task took them beyond the palace walls into the wild forests of Virelia. Auralia explained that the forest was home to many creatures, not all friendly. Some were dangerous, some were clever. To survive here, one needed courage, wit, and observation, qualities Aaron already possessed, though he did not realize it. As they walked, Auralia tested him with small challenges. If you see the blue vines ahead, avoid them, she said. They are harmless if left alone, but they release spores that can make one dizzy. Aaron followed her instructions carefully, stepping over the vines and observing their movements. I see, he said. You pay attention to details that humans often ignore. Exactly, Auralia replied. Details can save your life or ruin it. Hours passed as they moved deeper into the forest. Aaron marveled at the glowing plants, twisting trees, and streams that shimmered with colors unlike any water on Earth. Your world, it's beautiful, he said quietly. Auralia smiled faintly. It is. But beauty can hide danger. That is why we respect it. Suddenly, a rustling sound came from the trees. A pack of small, agile creatures with sharp teeth and glowing eyes darted toward them. Aaron instinctively stepped in front of the princess. The creatures paused, sizing him up. Do not attack unless necessary, Auralia whispered. Show respect, not fear. Aaron squared his shoulders and held out his hands, palms open, a gesture he had learned in their lessons. We mean no harm, he said softly. The creatures studied them, their glowing eyes flickering. Slowly, they backed away, disappearing into the forest. Aaron exhaled. I think they respected the gesture. Auralia nodded approvingly. You are learning faster than I expected. As the sun climbed higher, they reached a clearing with a crystal-clear lake. Rest here, Auralia suggested. The next challenge is not physical, but mental. She handed Aaron a small, transparent sphere that shimmered with light. This is a puzzle of balance. You must place the sphere in the correct position without disturbing its energy. Many aliens fail this test because they overthink. Aaron studied the sphere, feeling its subtle vibrations. He remembered something his father once told him about solving problems. Sometimes the simplest solution is the best. Carefully, he moved the sphere, feeling its energy guide him. After a tense moment, it settled perfectly into place, glowing brighter. Auralia's eyes sparkled with approval. "Well done. You trust your instincts, and that is rare." Aaron smiled, feeling proud. "Thank you. I'm learning so much from you." As they rested by the lake, Auralia began to share stories of her childhood, of growing up in a world with strict rules and responsibilities. "I did not choose this life," she said softly. "I was born into it. But I have learned to love it and to protect it." Aaron listened intently. "It must be hard, carrying so much responsibility." "It is," she admitted. "But meeting someone who sees beyond titles and customs, it is rare. You see me, Aaron, not just the princess. That matters more than you know." Aaron's heart beat faster. He had admired her from the start, but hearing her say this, it made him feel connected in a way he never expected. I want to understand you, all of you," he said quietly. She studied him, her gaze softening. "And I want you to try, human. That is why you are here, not just to learn our customs, but to learn what it means to respect life, courage, and honor." Their walk back to the palace was peaceful. Auralia showed Aaron secret paths, hidden gardens, and places where the sunlight turned the leaves golden. Each moment was a lesson, not just in survival or etiquette, but in understanding the beauty and complexity of her world. Back at the palace, they practiced gestures and speech. But Aaron noticed something new. He and Auralia laughed together. Small slip of a hand, a misunderstood word. Each mistake brought amusement, not criticism. It was the first time Aaron realized that learning did not have to be tense or formal. It could be joyful. That evening, they watched the twin suns set over the horizon. The sky turned shades of violet and gold. Aaron felt a warmth in his chest, a feeling that went beyond admiration or respect. "Princess," he said softly, "I never imagined meeting someone like you. You make me want to be better." Auralia turned to him, her eyes reflecting the fading sunlight. "And you, human, make me see hope in ways I never expected. Perhaps this journey is not only yours but mine as well." For the first time, they walked side by side without lessons, challenges, or tests. Just two beings from different worlds, sharing a moment of understanding and trust. As night fell, Aaron lay in the guest chamber, thinking about the day. He had survived the forest, learned to respect alien creatures, solved a puzzle using only his instincts, and shared moments with the princess that went beyond words. He realized that humans, though small and seemingly fragile, could match any challenge with courage, heart, and understanding. And he knew one thing for certain. His journey with Auralia was only beginning, but the bond they were forming could change both their worlds forever. Above him, the stars of Veralia sparkled as if signaling the start of something extraordinary. The morning sun rose over Veralia, painting the palace in shades of gold and silver. Today was no ordinary day for Aaron. Princess Auralia had told him that he would face a trial, a test not of skill but of heart, courage, and loyalty. It was a test that could decide whether he was worthy of her trust and the possibility of marriage. Auralia led him to a clearing at the edge of the forest. There a group of her people waited. They were the guardians of Veralia, responsible for enforcing the rules and protecting the princess. Among them stood Theril, the noble who had doubted Aaron before. His eyes were sharp, watching the human, with suspicion. "Aaron," Auralia said, her voice calm but serious, "your trial is simple in concept but difficult in practice. You will be given a mission. It will test your judgment, your courage, and your loyalty, not to me, but to all of Veralia." Aaron nodded, determination shining in his eyes. "I am ready." The mission was explained. A wild storm had struck a distant village, and several inhabitants were trapped. They were safe for now, but a nearby river was rising quickly, threatening to flood the area. Aren's task was to reach the village, ensure everyone's safety, and bring them to higher ground. Many have tried and failed, Thariel said sharply. This is not just a journey. It is a challenge of life and death. Aran felt the weight of the task but did not hesitate. I will do it, he said firmly. Aralia touched his shoulder briefly. Remember, courage without wisdom can be dangerous. Trust your instincts, but pay attention to your surroundings. The journey to the village was not easy. The forest had been altered by the storm. Trees had fallen, blocking paths. Streams had swollen into rivers, and the wind howled fiercely. Aran climbed over logs, leapt across rushing water, and carefully navigated slippery slopes. He remembered every lesson from Aralia: observation, patience, and respect for life. When he reached the village, he saw the first signs of danger. A family was stranded on the edge of the rising river, their small boat overturned. A child cried, frightened and cold. Without hesitation, Aran ran to help, using his human strength and quick thinking to carry the child to safety. Other villagers followed, and Aran guided them toward higher ground. Along the way, he encountered obstacles: fallen trees, deep mud, and rushing streams. Each time he thought quickly, using both human ingenuity and the lessons he had learned from Aralia. Keep moving, he encouraged them. Stay calm and we'll get through this together. Hours passed and the storm showed no sign of ending. Aran's clothes were soaked, his muscles ached, and his body shivered from exhaustion. Yet he pressed on. Humans had a way of enduring even when everything seemed impossible. That determination kept him going. Finally, he reached the safety of a high plateau, where the villagers could wait until the storm passed. The family he had first rescued held him with gratitude in their eyes. Thank you, they said. You saved us. Aran smiled, though he was exhausted. We all help each other. That is how we survive. As he caught his breath, he heard a voice behind him. You have done well, human. It was Princess Aralia, standing on a small hill above the plateau. She had followed him at a distance, watching his every move. Thariel and the Guardians were with her, their expressions serious but respectful. Aran approached her, mud and water streaking his face. I did what I could, he said humbly. You did more than enough, Aralia replied, her silver eyes shining with pride. You faced danger, protected the innocent, and kept your heart calm and clear. That is the mark of a true hero. Thariel stepped forward, his gaze softer than before. I doubted you, human, I admit it. But you have proven yourself. Your courage and loyalty are unquestionable. The princess was right to trust you. Aran felt a wave of relief and pride. He had faced one of the greatest challenges of his life, and had succeeded. But more importantly, he had shown that humans, though small and fragile compared to aliens, could match their courage, wisdom, and integrity. The palace of Virelia was alive with activity. Today was a special day, one that marked a turning point not only for Aran but for the kingdom itself. Word had spread among the court that the human had passed the trials, shown courage, wisdom, and loyalty, and earned the respect of the princess and her people. Now many were eager to see if he could truly integrate into their society. Aran stood in the grand hall, dressed in formal attire of Virelia, flowing robes with delicate patterns that shimmered in the light. He felt nervous. This was more than a ceremony. It was a test of his place among the alien nobles and advisors. Some of them still whispered doubts, while others watched silently, their expressions unreadable. Princess Aralia approached him, her presence commanding yet graceful. Remember, she said quietly, this is not just about you. It is about showing that humans can be more than they appear. Show respect, but also remain yourself. Aran nodded. I understand. The ceremony began. Guests filled the hall, their robes glittering, their expressions a mix of curiosity and expectation. Aralia's family and advisors were present, as well as the guardians who had observed Aran during his trial. Thariel, who had doubted him before, stood with a stern expression, though Aaron noticed a trace of respect in his eyes. Aaron stepped forward as the princess led him to the center of the hall. The first task was simple yet symbolic. He had to bow correctly using the gestures he had learned. Any mistake would be seen as disrespect. He took a deep breath, recalling every lesson, every correction, and every moment of guidance from Auralia. His movements were precise, calm, and confident. The audience murmured in approval. Even Theryl's eyes softened slightly. Next, he had to participate in a ritual of unity, a demonstration of understanding and respect between species. He was to present a gift to the princess's court, symbolizing human contribution and thoughtfulness. Aaron stepped forward and unveiled a small device he had crafted during his studies on Virelia. It was a delicate sculpture that captured the beauty of the twin suns and reflected light in shifting patterns, much like the shimmering robes of the princess. The court gasped in wonder. The gift was simple, yet elegant, showing both creativity and understanding of Virelia's beauty. Auralia smiled, impressed by the human's thoughtfulness. "You see," she said quietly to Theryl, "humans are capable of remarkable things when they care." Theryl nodded slowly. "I see that now." The ceremony continued with speeches, blessings, and gestures of goodwill. Aaron listened carefully, responding with the proper gestures, showing both respect and humility. Each step was a chance to prove himself, and he did so with quiet confidence. After the formalities, the celebration began. The palace gardens were illuminated with floating lights that shimmered like stars. Music played, both alien and human, creating a harmonious blend that lifted spirits and drew smiles from every guest. Aaron walked beside Auralia as they observed the festivities. "It is beautiful," he said. "I have never seen anything like this on Earth." Auralia nodded. "This is my world, and today you are becoming part of it." They approached a group of villagers who had come from nearby settlements. Many of them had witnessed Aaron's bravery during the storm and recognized him immediately. Children ran up to him, laughing and holding his hands. Adults bowed respectfully. Aaron felt a warmth in his chest. It was not just acceptance. This was genuine appreciation. "You have done more than we could hope for," one elder said. "You have shown the heart of a true ally, not just to the princess, but to all of Virelia." Aaron smiled humbly. "I did what I could. That is all any human or any being can do." Later, he and Auralia shared a quiet moment away from the crowd. The twin moons had risen, casting a silver glow over the gardens. Aaron looked at her, feeling a mixture of admiration and something deeper. "You have impressed everyone," Auralia said softly, "not just with your courage, but with your heart. You are different from what many expected." Aaron looked down, feeling shy. "I only wanted to do right by you and your people. I never imagined that I could be accepted like this." Auralia reached out, placing her hand gently on his arm. "You have earned it, Aaron. And more than that, you have earned my trust and respect. That is more important than any ceremony or rule." Aaron felt a surge of gratitude and determination. "I will continue to earn it, every day." As the celebration continued, Auralia guided him through the dances and rituals, showing him how to participate fully. Each moment was a lesson, yet also a joy. The humans and aliens mingled, learning from one another, laughing together, and celebrating, not just a union, but the bond between two worlds. By nightfall, the festivities reached their peak. Lanterns floated into the sky, carrying messages of hope and unity. Aaron and Auralia stood together, watching the lights drift upward. "This is only the beginning," Auralia said, her voice soft but firm. "You have gained acceptance, but our journey together is just starting. There are still many challenges ahead, lessons, adventures, and responsibilities." Aaron nodded, feeling both excitement and determination. "I am ready. I want to face everything by your side." She smiled, a rare and genuine smile that made his heart race. "And I will be by your side. Together, We will show our worlds what can be achieved when courage, heart, and respect guide us. As the night drew to a close, Arin reflected on the journey so far. He had arrived as a simple human, curious and brave, and now he stood as someone accepted by a proud alien society, trusted by its princess and respected by its people. He had proven that humans could rise to challenges no one expected them to face. And as he watched the twin moons of Virelia shining above, he knew that the final steps of his journey were near, the steps that could lead to a future where he and the princess shared not just respect and trust, but a bond that could unite two worlds. For the first time, Arin felt that anything was possible. He had courage, heart, and now, acceptance. And with Auralia by his side, he was ready to face the rest of the galaxy. The morning of the ceremony dawned clear and bright, the twin suns of Virelia casting golden and silver light over the palace gardens. Today was the day that would mark the end of one journey and the beginning of another. Arin's journey to become not only a trusted ally of Virelia, but the chosen partner of Princess Auralia. Arin stood in the grand hall, dressed in the finest attire of both human and Virelian design. His human simplicity combined with Virelian elegance created a striking appearance. He felt a mixture of nerves and excitement. All the trials, all the lessons, and all the moments of courage had led to this day. Princess Auralia appeared at the top of the staircase, her robe shimmering like liquid silver under the sunlight. Her presence was breathtaking. Arin could hardly believe that he, a human from a distant planet, had the honor to stand beside her. The court gathered in silence. Nobles, guardians, and villagers alike watched with anticipation. Even Tharil, who had doubted Arin from the start, stood with an expression of respect and pride. Auralia descended gracefully and approached Arin. "Today," she said softly, "we celebrate not only the joining of two beings but the harmony of two worlds. Courage, respect, and heart have brought us here. Let the ceremony begin." The first part of the ritual involved a simple act of unity. Arin and Auralia joined hands, and a stream of glowing energy flowed from their palms, connecting them in a visible bond. The audience gasped as the energy shimmered in the sunlight, weaving a tapestry of light over the garden. The bond symbolized trust, loyalty, and mutual understanding, a promise of unity not only between them but between humans and Virelians. Arin looked into Auralia's eyes. "I never imagined I would be here," he said quietly, his voice steady, despite the emotion he felt. "And I never imagined I would find someone who sees me for who I truly am," Auralia replied, her silver eyes shining. "You have proven that humans can rise to challenges and honor the heart of another being." Next came the exchange of promises. Arin spoke first, his words simple but filled with sincerity. "I promise to respect you, to learn from you, and to face every challenge with courage. I will protect your people as I would my own, and I will stand by your side always." Auralia's voice was soft but firm as she replied, "I promise to trust you, to guide you, and to share my world with you. Together, we will face what comes and celebrate what we create. Our bond will strengthen both our peoples and our hearts." The crowd watched in awe as the two pledges were completed. The twin moons began to rise in the sky, casting a silver glow over the gardens. Lanterns floated upward, carrying messages of hope, unity, and joy from all corners of the kingdom. Humans and Virelians alike looked up, hearts lifted by the sight. After the formal ceremony, the celebrations began. Music filled the air, melodies from Virelia combined with rhythms from Earth. Guests danced, laughed, and shared stories, bridging the gap between two very different worlds. Arin marveled at how naturally humans and Virelians mingled, sharing curiosity, humor, and joy. Later, Auralia led Arin to a quiet garden. The night sky was a canopy of stars, the twin moons reflecting on the crystal-clear lake. "Do you see this?" she asked. "This is the world we protect, and now we share it together." Arin nodded, feeling a warmth in his chest. "I will do everything I can to honor this world. And you." Aralia smiled, her hand brushing gently against his. And I will do the same. Together we will face whatever comes next.